Good morning. So I'm going to do my July update today. My garden update. I don't know if you can see that bird right there. I guess he just flew off. They are just kind of fussing and fighting with each other today. It's beautiful. Beautiful skies. I have a little area set up over here. Drying some eggshells. That fell down. I'm wearing my boots because I've seen 3 snakes in like 3 weeks. It is probably the highs have been in the upper 90s here in South Texas, with the humidity or dew point being really high. So we've had extreme heat warnings. It's about 9 o'clock right now, and I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my garden. So these are the patty pan squash, and those are my 3 cucumber plants, and as you can tell, they're not doing well. So I have white fly, I think, because I have little these little white specks flying around. Now, I've never had white fly. See right there? These have had powdery mildew. They have squash bugs. Those are the squash bug eggs. So to say that I'm frustrated with my garden this year is an understatement. This jalapeno plant has barely produced any jalapenos. You see, it's flowered. My 2 bell pepper plants, even though they have been consistently watered, haven't produced anything. I haven't planted anything right there. As you can see, it slopes down, so I really need to get some bricks or some sort of something in the back to line the wood with, and then fill up with dirt. Now, these tomato plants have had army worms. I haven't seen any I've seen squash bugs on here. I haven't seen any hornworms, but as you can see, I believe now that these are spider mites. And not only are they spider mites, but the blooms are dropping because it is so hot here that it can't keep a bloom. It can keep a bloom, but not many. And I'm finding that, like, these have blooms. These are the Roma tomatoes, but as you can see here, they're not lasting. I do have one baby tomato. This is not a baby tomato. I saw a baby tomato the other day when I was out here pruning. I have pruned these within an inch of their life. I have sprayed them constantly with every organic non-pesticide thing that I can find, and I think I'm gonna rip them out. I hate to do it, but as you can see, they're not healthy, and I could use this space to grow other things. Here I started some plants in the greenhouse. I'm sorry I didn't show you, but I did. These are Long Island cheese squash, and I will show you when I get back inside. I'll show you the seed packets. I planted some corn. Those right there are butterbush squash, because I could not find the Waltham butternut squash in my area for some reason. This row is blank. I just don't have anything to put there right now. That's also butternut squash, and those are corn. So I thought since I was in this area I would show you the seeds. This is the bucket that you can see the dirt and the sticks and the pin that I have been taking outside. And my scissors. So this is some sweet corn that I planted. I bought this at Hobby Lobby. Golden Cross Bantam Hybrid. These didn't all germinate, but I think I had like a 50% germination, maybe a little bit less. I must have planted these at some point because they're open. But I am going to I'm going to do a mid-season crop. So days to harvest 85. So, and this is an early maturing pole bean, days to harvest 62. So I'm going to try the Three Sisters method, and I'll show you when I go out there. But I've already planted some of these in my garden. I may have already showed you. I'm going to try to get these to germinate and try to get these to climb up the corn. I might also try to plant some of these. This days to harvest is 40. I planted some of these. I had minimal germination, minimal. These say Burpee's Butterbush, but they look like the Waltham Butternut. Space-saving and compact plants produce 1.5 pounds of delicious butternut type squash. I got 4 plants. 3 of them look like they're going to survive. I'm not sure about the other one. I have had good luck with the butternut squash, not the butterbush. We'll see. I have not been able to get any of my pumpkin seeds to germinate. This I bought at Home Depot because the pumpkin seeds that I bought at the Dollar Tree did not germinate. These also did not germinate. I planted petunias, zinnias, 4 o'clocks, more marigolds. These did not germinate. So I was watching Roots and Refuge Farm, and she had mentioned that flower seeds don't like to germinate in heat, and I didn't know that. I planted these out in the field in the big garden. Nothing came up. I planted turnips out in the big garden. Nothing came up. I planted beets out in the big garden. Nothing came up. I will take you out there and show you. I was watering my neighbor went ahead and plowed the field again. I went out there to water. I was watering as he suggested. So he suggested that because we have a very clay-like soil, that I loosely cover the seeds and then I hand water it, because the seeds might have trouble germinating and then poking their heads up through the clay. So I did that, so you'll see rows of weeds. Yep, that's what happened. So let me show you. Hang on, let me get them out. So I don't know if I showed you guys these seeds or not. I got these seeds from a company called Seed Savers. You may have heard of them. And I planted some of these. The Ping Tung Long eggplant, which I didn't know that you were not supposed to, they did not germinate well in the heat. For us, we live in a very hot climate, and I think Taiwan also has hot weather, so that's why I picked this one. I only had one. I had two germinate and one didn't do. It germinated, but then the leaf, the stem broke. Sorry. I think I planted 4 of these. I've been very kind of stingy with my seeds. I don't want to waste them. So I planted 4 of these. These are outside in my greenhouse. These are the only ones that I haven't planted yet in the ground. I need to do that soon. But we're supposed to get some sort of tropical storm in the next couple days, so I'm going to hold off on that. I might repot them into bigger pots today. I'm not sure. I got these crystal apple cucumbers, but I haven't planted those yet. 65 days. The only problem is we have a lot of, and it's not a problem, we have a lot of bees, and my zucchini cross-pollinated with my patty pan squash, my early white bush scallop squash. So if you saw in any of my recent food videos, I got some green squash when I had my zucchini plant in there. The zucchini plant didn't do all that great, so I had to take it out. The zucchini and the yellow squash. I planted some of these. I got 3 plants. I put them in the ground. I'm hoping for the best. I planted Long Island cheese squash, which is a pumpkin. 2 out of the 4 germinated, so I put those in the ground. I got this jelly melon cucumber. I just thought it sounded good. Thought I'd give that a try. But I don't want to plant my cucumbers. Like, I just want to grow one type of cucumber, because I'm afraid they'll cross-pollinate, and I don't know what I'll get at that point. I got a Mexican sour gherkin cucumber, and the ones that aren't folded down, I haven't used yet. I got a true lemon cucumber. I got a lettuce mixture for the fall. It's too hot for us down here to do lettuce. I had to go ahead and get a butternut squash from Seed Savers. I might go ahead and plant these. I also got a winter luxury squash. This will not mature in time for October, maybe November. Maybe I'll do that next year. And then I got a Blacktail Mountain watermelon. So it says delivers despite the short seasons and the cool nights. So I may try this one because it says perfect for short season areas. This variety also does well in hot, humid climates. So I may try and plant some of those. So I'm going to take you outside and show you what's going on today. I wanted you to hear that bird song, but the minute I came out here, he stopped. So this is the garden tour of the garden out here. And as you can see, a lot's changed from the last video. My zucchinis are gone. My yellow squash are gone. This is 2 days after the hurricane, and you can see the hurricane just made my okra plants, well, it uprooted them pretty much. So the only thing I have left are these. That was gone. This was a big vine that had cantaloupe. Cantaloupes never got very big, but that is where cantaloupes used to be. Those died. So I do have some, I mean, the okra seem to be, like, I cut okra yesterday, and, sorry, should pay more attention. It's becoming more and more difficult to come out here and get the okra because the ants are taking it over. And I'm not sure if ant bait, see the ants? I'm not sure if you can use ant bait on things that you're going to eat. I have to research that. But I come out every day and pick these because, look, I picked them yesterday. And look, this one just got away from me. So I'm really considering just letting these go to seed just because the ants are getting to them. See, the ants have just completely decimated. And those are fire ants, and they hurt. So yeah, I need to research what to do if you can use ant bait on your okra plants. So these are the rows that my neighbor tilled this up for me again, because you saw it last month, and we did as he suggested. We just hand watered the rows after I planted them. I planted radish and turnip, but turnips. Keep in mind, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm not sure if I even sowed them at the right time. But what has come up are weeds. I don't see any normal looking plants. It's just weeds. So I watered weeds. So I have some nice big cantaloupe out here. And I think I'm going to take seeds from that one because that's the best looking cantaloupe I've had all year. And I'm seriously, there's 3 of them left. I'm seriously considering taking these in, these in, and I think I will. I'm not going to let the vine tell me what it wants. I'm just going to take them in because I want these cantaloupes. I don't want anything to have them besides us. So I'm getting my scissors out because it doesn't want to come out on its own. And I'm going to take it in. So yep, this is this part of the garden. Who knows what it'll look like in August? I have no clue. So I thought I would take a minute and do a little face-to-face fall recap. Not fall recap, garden recap for July. So in June, you will have seen my tomato plants. Just beautiful, big, luscious plants full of green foliage. Not a thing wrong with them, not a care in the world. Hi, Tandy. My cucumber vines were looking beautiful. My squash were wonderful. Boy, what a difference a month makes. My squash in my garden behind my house, I think I planted them in the wrong location. I think maybe this garden is too enclosed for plants in the summer. Maybe they don't get enough circulation. I honestly don't know, but I have been fighting bugs and bacteria and damp conditions. Not damp, because we've been in a drought up until recently, but just kind of humid conditions like you wouldn't believe. So I'm at the point with my tomatoes, I just want to rip them out. I see new growth, but I also see there's so many diseased parts of the plant that I probably already showed you. I did order some more tomato seeds from Seed Savers. And because when I was at Walmart last, I looked for tomato seeds, they didn't have any. And I don't necessarily want to make a special trip to Home Depot. And we don't have any gardening centers unless you go in town, which is like 45 minutes away. And with my driving anxiety, I just don't want to do that. My squash plants are suffering. I pulled one out yesterday. It's just disgusting. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. They germinated just fine. They started out just fine. I don't know if they should be trellised or put in like tomato cages. I don't know what. The cucumber plants don't look lush and beautiful anymore. They've been attacked. There's a new fancy term I learned from watching gardening videos. I have a lot of pest pressure. And yeah, it's making me just want to give up, honestly. Add to that, I hardly ever look like this anymore because I get so disgustingly filthy going outside every day battling these pests that my vegetable plants are hardly even producing, so it doesn't even feel worth it. I've been using organic household like recipes to spray on my plants. I got some, I think it's called BT or something, Thuricide for the caterpillars on the tomato plants. I've been killing my squash bugs with, I've been scraping the eggs off and killing them with the actual bugs with soapy water when I find them. But we decided to go with wood mulch. And maybe that was a bad choice. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But you will have seen I planted corn. I planted some Long Island cheese squash, which is, I think, a type of pumpkin. I have some fancy cantaloupe plants that are ready to be put in the ground. I'm not sure where to put them. If I should put them out in the big garden because of the ants all over the okra. We have an ant issue. So I'm feeling like I should garden because it feels like the end of the world. And I just feel like if I have a food source on my property, I'll feel a little bit safer. I'm not a homesteader by any means, although I've been watching a lot of homestead videos. That's one part of me. Another part of me just wants to give up right now. I'm tired of looking like a hot mess. And because of my complexion, I go outside and I have curly frizzy hair, curly frizzy reddish hair. And then my complexion, I just get beet red. I just get beet red. It's, like I said in the other video, it's my Irish heritage, and it just happens. So I feel ugly and disgusting like every single day, trying to keep up with a garden that is failing. So I'm not giving up, but I'm just going to probably scale back on how many times. I mean, I'll still water because we normally don't get like an afternoon shower or nothing like that. We hardly ever get rain unless it's a tropical storm or it's just not a very rainy part of the country. So I have to water. So I will continue to water And I'll just try, and I think what I've just decided to do is I've been watching, like I said, a lot of gardening videos, and these people, like, a lot of them don't live where I live. They live in the UK, either in Britain, Great Britain, or Scotland. I found one gardening channel. She gardens in South Texas, not in Corpus Christi, but like up the coast a little bit. So I found her. Her name is Crystal. I'm gonna do a garden, like my favorite gardening channels that I found, in a separate video. So she's the only local person I found who does gardening videos. But yeah, I've been watching these people, it seems like from other climates, and I don't know, their gardens, and they're, you know, they've been gardening for years, and I've been gardening for years too, but I had to take a break whenever my fence gave way because my dogs just go wherever they please. My dogs would like lay in the beds, so I couldn't garden for a couple of years. But whenever I gardened before, the only problem I had was powdery mildew. I never had this issue. So I'm just going to have to treat it like a big science experiment and not get, I feel like I've let myself get emotionally invested just because of the way the world is. It's probably a bad time to be a gardener because you feel like, or I feel like, if there's, you know, if there's a scarcity at the supermarket or job loss, we can't afford to buy food, at least I can go out to my garden and pick food. And that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself as a brand new gardener. So instead of looking at it that way, I'm going to have to look at it as one big science experiment. And yeah, I have to step back emotionally from my garden and just trust God to provide for us. So anyway, that is my July gardening update video. I'm sorry it's such a bummer and my garden isn't beautiful. I'm trying my best. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing well, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you aren't subscribed, I would love to have you, so please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video, friends. Bye.